Kate, thanks so much for speaking with me today. Can you tell us a bit about your role at Pymble and also what brings you to our profession, why you love being a teacher?
Thanks, Sarah. My role is Head of Wellbeing, Kindergarten to Year 6 in the junior school. Prior to being a teacher, I was a lawyer for 7 years working in litigation. I didn't love it and I never particularly felt that it was the right fit for me, but I didn't really know what else to do. It took me a while to see the light, but then I went and did primary school teaching because thinking back on my own school experience, it was the teachers that I had that really impacted me and my self-worth, my self-confidence, and inspired me to know that I could do anything, and I wanted to do that for other children as well.
We're chatting because you've been involved in a really significant 18-month-long action research program with the International Coalition of Girls' Schools, the Global Action Research Collaborative, GARC as it's known, and you've now completed the paper, you've attended a couple of conferences with the ICGS, done many presentations, so it's a great chance to be able to speak about the professional journey that you've been on and what you've learnt from your research. So when you look back over that time, how do you feel the professional growth has changed your approach?
I think it's honestly the most significant thing I've done in my career as a teacher. I didn't really know what I was getting into when I started. I knew I wanted to learn more and do some research, and I wanted to learn and understand the action research process. And my passion was student wellbeing, so I wanted to be in that area, but I didn't really know what it would involve. I think it has been amazing learning about how to research and then how to then inform my practice and change what I do. I love learning, so learning about what is already out there is great, and then seeing how we could use that research in a girls' school and then do my own research has been absolutely inspirational.
Can you tell us about your project and what it's been about?
So my research project is called Connecting with Our Feelings, using collaboration to strengthen girls' social and emotional skills. This was a particular focus on Year 3 girls, and the collaboration was a three-way collaboration between parents, the school and the girls. A focus on specific skills of self-management and self-awareness, because these were skills that the Year 3 teachers noticed were something that the girls needed to work on and they were finding were impacting their learning in the classroom. I was previously a Year 2 teacher, and it was during the COVID-19 pandemic that I was a Year 2 teacher, and it was something that I noticed the girls were really finding difficult as a result of distance learning, as a result of not being around their peers, because they weren't face-to-face in the classroom. And then speaking with the Year 3 teachers when my role changed, the teachers were noticing that the same thing was continuing, that the girls hadn't developed some of those key skills that perhaps ordinarily they would have developed by being in the classroom that whole time.
And how did you collect your data for the project?
So data was collected in a variety of ways. So there were some explicitly taught lessons with a critical friend in the room. So we had discussions following the lessons, observations that I took, field notes. I had focus groups with students as well as parents, and I also did some surveys of both parents and students.
What are some of the highlights and some of the findings that you found from your project?
Findings of the project were, firstly, the explicit teaching of social and emotional skills was really important for the girls. Also that the collaboration with parents and home and school environments was really important, to have consistent strategies to use across both home and school. And the findings were that there was an improvement in the girls' self-management and self-awareness skills across the only short duration of the project. Another finding was that the girls having their own personalised strategies for the management of their emotions was really successful, because there's not a one-size-fits-all. Something that may work for someone else, such as mindfulness or breathing, may not work for another person. So having the girls understand what worked for them was really important. And finally, I think another finding was the increasing in trust within the classroom, because the girls were collaborating about something that was such a personal thing, so their emotions and how they feel and how they regulate their emotions. The trust and understanding of each other really grew. The highlight was definitely the reflections with the girls talking about their lessons that they'd taught their parents. Some of them were absolutely fantastic, and the pride with which they came to tell, I taught my mum how to do belly breathing, or I sat down and did some yoga and meditation with Dad. It was fantastic hearing them reflect on that. Another highlight is probably hearing the girls get emotional talking about working with their parents on a project. I think that was one of the key findings, that the girls loved that opportunity to connect on something really meaningful with their parents. The parents reflected the same, that they also loved it. But hearing the girls' pride and love for doing something extra with their parents was definitely a highlight.
And finally, when you look back, can you reflect on some of the challenges and the opportunities that came to you through doing the research?
I think one challenge was that after applying for the GARC project, I then had a new role, so I didn't have my own class, so I had to impose myself on someone, which turned into a massive opportunity because it meant that I was able to have a critical friend and have someone in the classroom to also observe and discuss the lessons with me, which was a real bonus. Another challenge was that the GARC project is Northern Hemisphere based, so that was a little bit tricky in terms of our school year because my project had to finish earlier than other people in that the Christmas break, and the girls were moving to a different year. This was not insurmountable, it just meant that I had to be really efficient with my use of time. I think the opportunities were for me to understand more about the importance of research and action research in wellbeing. It was not something that I was particularly aware of, so I think that was a huge opportunity to understand the role of our relationship with parents in this area was really fantastic, and as a result there's been a number of initiatives that I've started in the junior school. We're running a parent wellbeing series of sessions about things to do with wellbeing and how parents can support their daughter at home with her wellbeing and complement what's going on in the classroom, because the research finding that it's really important to have those consistent strategies across both home and school. I write for the newsletter every week now. And there have been other opportunities for me personally. Being able to share my research has been something that's an area of personal growth, and I'm also absolutely passionate about undertaking more research and want to ultimately undertake my PhD.
That's fantastic to hear, and congratulations on your project. It's really outstanding.
Thanks, Sarah.